Hey, good morning. How are you doing this morning? Welcome to yet another session in Vice Chancellor's series. And the discussion today is on Ramcharitmanas and its teachings for our lives. India is a land of mythology, narrated in the form of stories, Jatak tales, Panchtantra, Mahabharata, or shlokas in Ramayana and Gita. Some of us derive spirituality out of it, while some extract from it inspirations, morals of life, principles that have universal applications in our work, our behavior, and relationship on personal and professional fronts. Many thinkers have aptly demonstrated that all modern principles of management exist in the Holy Gita. The next 60 minutes today is my humble attempt to share the learning that I have drawn from Ramcharitmanas. The question in your mind might be, why Ramcharitmanas? And what could it have to possibly do with our lives in modern times? Or an epic which was written in ancient times, does it or can it have influence on our lives today in modern times now? Let me justify my choice. Our personal and family lives do affect our professional lives, consciously or subconsciously. The values that we inculcate from our upbringing and later in our family, we transfer them to our professional lives and vice versa. Thus, congenial relationships at home and within the society are key to professional successes too. And for all of us present here in this session today, it is all the more important since we belong to the profession of education. And it has been rightly said that no learning can take place without a meaningful relationship of teacher and the taught, and hence the importance of relationships. This session is about the epic Sri Ramcharitmanas, which to me is a perfect depiction, description, and portrayal of ideal relationships by Mahakavi Tulsidas. In a nutshell, the discussion will be an effort of drawing inspirations from the great epic and thinking of how can we make congenial relationships a base for a happy life and derive more impactful output at work. A disclaimer also here, I'm not an expert on the subject. I'm just curious, a curious reader, and many a times I shape up my relationships by drawing inspirations from the Manas. And I'm calling Manas, please be informed that Ramcharitmanas is also known as Manas. From the experience gained, I can claim that the epic has given me enough teachings, enough learnings to shape up and cherish the relationships that I have. Just to share a secret, as a child, my mother forced us, siblings, to read one page of Manas every morning and did not give us breakfast till the time this ritual was over. A practice started by force eventually made us develop interest and has now become a good habit, only to influence us positively. Till this day, each time I read the epic, I add to my learning. And perhaps that is why Manas is also known as Mahakavya. However, I must admit that my understanding of this kavya is still extremely small. And in this discourse, the choices of incidences are driven by my own personal interest in them. Great and learned people like Vinoba Bhaveji, Gandhiji have drawn immense inspirations from this great epic, and the dimensions that they have touched, I may not be, and I do not intend to nearing them at all. It has been rightly said in Ramayana, and in nowhere else you can get the teachings of very many epics. Nana Purana Nigmagam Sammatyad Ramayana Nigaditam Kvachit Anyatopiyat. First, a quest. We all, and I keep using Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas interchangeably. Well, Ramayana is made up of two words, Ram and Anaya, which is the story of Ram. And Ramcharitmanas, Ram, Charit, deeds, and Manas, lake, which is the lake of good deeds of Ram. The work has variously been acclaimed as the living sum of Indian culture, the tallest tree in the magical garden of medieval Indian poetry. I have a question for all of you here, and I'm going to launch a poll at this moment. You are soon going to see this poll on your screen, and you need to answer. The poll says, have you ever read Ramayana or Ramcharitmanas or any form of this epic ever? You can choose by saying yes or no on your screens. All right, coming in. Okay, so I'm closing the poll now, and here's the result. 64% of you say yes, you have once ever in your lifetime read some or the other form of Ramayana or Ramcharitmanas, and 36% of you say no. Well, good. So moving back to our topic of Ramcharitmanas, both Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas have 7 episodes: the Balkandam, the Ayodhya Kandam, Aranya Kandam, Kishkindha Kandam, Sundar Kandam, Yuddha Kandam, and Uttar Kandam. The only difference that in Ramcharitmanas, Yuddha Kandam has been named as Lanka Kand. Otherwise, both of them quite similar. With 7 episodes, they have given the story of Ram. Whether it is Ramayana, Mahabharata, Vishnu Puran, Gita, Srimad Bhagavad, and the like, all these epics, it has been rightly said about them. Vigyan hai, विज्ञान है, नीति भी है, काव्य है, कथा है, संदेश भी है. They are scientific, logical, storyful, poetic, and contain powerful messages. This is said about our epics. Also, these facts make them Puratan, Adyatan, and Sanatan. They are ancient because they are Puratan. They are relevant in current times. They are Adyatan and will be relevant in all times to come, Sanatan. Having said that, and convinced that Manas can give us powerful indications, messages, and way out, let us come back to our central theme, the relationships. And the question why? Family is the smallest entity of our society, you all know and understand, which in turn makes our nation and thus the whole world. It has been rightly said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is our family, and we are also talking about families making the world. Thus, whatever we do in our families gets reflected in the nation and hence the world as a whole. And hence the importance of relationships. I have another question for you, all of you, another poll, and we'll share it with you because I just want to test. Okay, let me see if I can launch it now, or we will proceed. All of you said that you have read Ramcharitmanas in one form or the other. So, how many of you know that Ramcharit was written in which yug? Was it written in Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, or Kali Yug? Remember, I'm not asking about Ramayana. I'm talking about Ramcharitmanas. Ramayana was written by Valmiki, and Ramcharitmanas was written by Shri Tulsidas. Okay, so I am closing the poll and I'm sharing the results. 32% of you say Satyug, 35% of you say Treta, 19% Dwapar, and 40% Kali. Well, the right answer is Tulsidas ji wrote Ramcharitmanas in Kali Yuga, not in Treta, Dwapar, or Satyug, while Valmiki Ramayana was written in Satyug. So let's proceed. We were talking about the relationships and our teachings and learnings which we can draw from Ramcharitmanas. How many of you know, or maybe how you can share with me, what kind of and how many types of relationships does one have or one gets indulged in a lifetime? Think about it for 10 seconds. 1 to 5, 6 to 8, or more than 8. How many types of relationships does one get indulged in a lifetime? I hope my screen is visible. So many of you might be thinking less than 5, 6 to 8. Some of you might be thinking even more than 8. Well, I'm going to put on screen, and you would agree with me that these are the roles one plays in a lifetime. At least these are the minimal ones that one plays in a lifetime. Being a child, to a sibling, to a friend, to a student or a teacher, employee, employer, a lover, a husband or a wife, what we can commonly name it as spouse, and a parent. These are the roles that one plays in a lifetime, and we are exactly going to talk about these relationships today, and the portrayal of these relationships by Tulsidas ji, the Ramcharitmanas. So let us start with the role child. Balkandam is the child episode in Ramayana, or Balkand in Ramcharitmanas, and the story goes like this. Ram Katha is said to be told by Shivji to Parvati, and also by Kakbhushanji to Garudji. And so narrates Shivji. When King Dashrath and his 3 wives were wary of not having any child, they pray, and finally, from Putrakam Yajna, they are blessed with 4 sons. The birth of Ram has also been depicted as incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and hence, instead of Janm, the word Pragat has been used. The son had 4 hands, the child had 4 hands, his neck was garlanded with flowers, and he had big, beautiful eyes. Bhay Pragat Prapala, Deen Dayala, Kausalya Hitkari, Harshit Mehtari, Muni Manhari, Adbhut Roop Vichari, Lochana Abhirama, Tanu Ghansyama, Nij Ayudh Bujchari, Bhushan Banmala. His neck was garlanded with flowers. Nayan Bisala, big beautiful eyes, Sobha Sindhu. The 4 sons born to the king were born to the king in Ayodhya, which by all means, the kingdom of Ayodhya by all means was a well-to-do kingdom. The description of the 4 children growing and their rearing up in Ramcharitmanas is, however, not that or what comforts were given to the princess, but how love was showered on them by their parents. The Kavi could have portrayed, Tulsidas ji could have portrayed the lavishness of food being served to them, or how comforts were laid in their feet. Instead, Tulsidas ji depicts how the mother lovingly offers food to them with her own hands, how she draws satisfaction out of the sweet jhankar of Panjaniya. Thumaka chalat Ramachandra bajat Panjaniya. And remember, to raise children with love requires no money. If it is to be with lot of comforts, then yes, it requires a lot of money. Like all others, the 4 brothers were also sent to the Gurukul of Muni Vashisht for their education. After completing their education, they come back, and no sooner do they return, there appears Muni Vishwamitra to take away again the 2 sons, Ram and Lakshman, to jungle again. Why? Because the demons were troubling the rishis too much, and it was very difficult for the rishis to conduct yajnas. Dashrath became impatient and could not spare his loving 2 sons again. But for the sake of argument, he says, Sab sut priya moi pran ki nai, Ram det nahi bane gusai. Kah nisachar ati gur kathora, kah sundar sut param kisora. He's telling, hey Vishwamitra ji, all the 4 sons are dear to me, but Ram I cannot give away. Moreover, the demons are big and furious. How can my adolescent kids or my sons can kill them? Later, but the king knows now is the time to challenge the kids and apply what they have learned with Guru Vashisht. So he calls them. He summons his 2 sons and says, Ati adar do tanay bulaye, hriday le bahu bhati sikhaye. Mere pran nath sut do, tum muni piya aan nahi ko. He says, the word, you have to notice here the word adar. When he's summoning, when he calls his two sons, he calls them with respect. Ati adar do tanay bulai. He is calling his sons with respect, and this is what is the depiction of the love and affection when it grows and culminates into respect between the two generations. This is what happens. This is the beauty of the relationship of the two generations, which has been shown by Kavi Tulsidas ji. उनको बड़े प्यार से हृदय से लगाया और फिर कहा, he tells them that from now on, तुम मुनि पिया आन नहीं को. From today onwards, Muni Vishwamitra ji is your father, and you have to go with them. The sons also ask no questions. They have learned to adjust to context, situation, and the requirements. Both the brothers set out to jungle with Vishwamitra. And remember, in those days, going to jungle meant walking on foot, be dependent on arms and nature to fulfill one's needs, and carry very little, which means no hurdles. Our incidences are a picture of how parental love can be an outcome of mutual affection and respect. Turn to another incident of love, but this time full of materialistic greed and expectations. When Ram was declared to be king, Kaikeyi, who was promised by Dashrath that her son only would get the kingdom, and this promise was made by Dashrath at the time of marrying Kaikeyi. When the point comes, when Ram was to be incarnated, and he was to be sitting on throne, she was conspired. Kaikeyi was conspired by Mantra, and Kaikeyi asked Dashrath to send Ram for exile for 14 years and give the kingdom to his son Bharat. Tulsidas ji has beautifully depicted in this one line how overwhelming love, full of expectations of material greed, can be detrimental for not only for a family but for all the connected ones. Awadh ujhari ki nahi Kaikeyi, Awadh ko ujad diya usne. By this particular expectation and with this particular demand, Ayodhya ujad gayi. Deen se achal vipatti kahi nahi. ऐसी अचल विपत्ति उन्होंने दी अयोध्या को जो अब कभी वहां से जाएगी. This is what is the outcome of overwhelming love full of expectations and materialistic greed can do to your kids and all the connected ones. In a nutshell, the drawings and the learning that I have drawn from Ramcharitmanas about the child-parent relationship and the upbringing of child are thus these. The children should be raised with unconditional love and with no discrimination. They should be taught compassion, love, and respect for environment, humanity, God, and animals. The children should be dutiful to their parents, and they should be taught to discriminate good from bad, and should take ownership of all the situational decisions independently. They should be challenged continuously and to be told that life is a bouquet of sorrows and joys, and it is for them to find happiness in each. We should not throw all the comforts in their lap as and when they need them, but motivate them to want them. So there is a difference between love and comforts. Usually we take them as one. Moving on to a very important relationship, another very important relationship, that is of siblings. How many of you remember which two brothers were born to same mother of Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra? By the way, these three are the three queens of King Dashrath: Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. And the three queens and one king had 4 sons. At least from the narration in this epic, in this Mahakarya by Tulsidas ji, nothing of this sort is evident. By depiction and rearing up of the 4 children, Tulsidas ji tells us that it is possible that the deepest of bonds can get developed in childhood. He writes, "Bare hi te pati jani, Lakshman Ram charan rati mani, Bharat Satrughan dunau bhai, Prabhu sevak jasi priti badhai." He is writing, Lakshman ki priti Ram ke charanon mein ho gayi, meaning Lakshman was very affectionate, very loving for Ram, while Shatrughan was very caring and loving for Bharat. It's another fact, however, that Bharat himself was very dedicated to Ram. Prabhu or Sevak, the love between the siblings was like the served and the server. This is what is the kind of relationship and bonding with which the four sons grew, although they belonged to three different mothers. Even when Ram was given Vanvas, Sumitra, the youngest mother, and she was the mother of Shatrughan and Lakshman. And she is telling to Lakshman, Dheeraj dhareu kuavsar jani. Lakshman, these are bad times, these are tiring times, these are trying times. But Sahaj Suhad Boli Madhuvani, very soft, she speaks very soft spokenly, and she says, Tat tumhari matu baidhi. Hey Lakshman, aaj se Sita hi tumhari mata hai. Sita is your mother. Pita Ram sab bhati sane. Or Ram hi tumhare pita hai. He is your father now. Awadh jahan taha Ram nivasu. तुम राम के साथ जाओ, जहां राम रहेंगे वहीं तुम्हारी अयोध्या। जो पैसी राम वन जाही, जो राम और सीता वन जा रहे हैं, इफ दे आर गोइंग टू जंगल, अवध तुम्हारा काज कछु नहीं, तुम्हारा अयोध्या में कोई काम नहीं है। दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ टीचिंग दैट अ मदर इज गिविंग टू हर सन, asking him to leave all the comforts of the palace and the kingdom and follow his elder brother Ram and Sita. There are numerous incidences in Manas of these siblings helping each other and being dedicated to each other. Lakshman goes to jungle with Ram, helps him to come out of difficult situations, be it Parashuram's anger, helping Ram and Sita in daily chores, during Vanvas, and even during the war. The life of another brother of Ram, Bharat, is another Granth in itself. This Granth is on ideal sibling to sibling relationship. Even after getting the kingdom from Dashrath, Bharat does not take over as a king and serves Ayodhya as only as representative of Ram. Even he goes after Ram in jungle to coax and bring him back to Ayodhya. Ram would not budge. But the epitome, the beauty of symbolism here, which Tulsidas ji depicts here, when Bharat is requesting Ram to come back to Ayodhya in exile, who was in exile, and Ram is not giving up, and Ram is not agreeing to his request, Bharat would still insist and asks Ram's footwear. Bharat seal Guru Sachiv Samaj, Sakuch Saneh Bibas Raghuvanshi. Meaning, Ram इतने विवश हो चुके हैं उसकी रिक्वेस्ट के आगे, प्रभु करी कृपा पावरी दीनी, पावरी मीन्स द फुटवेयर, द खड़ाऊ एज वी कॉल इट। राम ने उनको अपनी फुटवेयर दी भरत को, एंड सादर भरत शीस धरी, भरत ने उसको अपने सिर पर रख लिया। All through the 14 years of exile, when Ram was in jungle, in exile, Bharat did not sit on the throne. On the throne was sitting Ram's footwear. Bharat was living in a pit, and he was carrying out as a serviceman to the whole country, to the whole nation, to hold the kingdom of Ayodhya. He was serving the nation. This is what is the bonding that got developed when they were young as kids. In yet another incident, Tulsidas ji shows the devotion in this relationship, and I'm sure this is on the other side. You all remember how Kumbhakaran lays his life for his brother Ravan. Although he knew Ravan was adharmi because he abducted Sita, but then Kumbhakaran, sibling to sibling, devotion and love, he laid his life for his brother Ravan, Lanka Kand. Turn to the other side, and you see Surpankha instigating Ravan to take revenge from Ram and abduct Sita. Dhua dekhi khardushan kara, jai Surpankha Ravan prera. Surpankha ने जाके रावण को instigate किया. She instigated Ravan. बोली बचन क्रोध करी भारी, देख कोस से सुरति बिसारी. She is instigating Ravan to abduct Sita, to take revenge from Ram, kill Ram, and so on and so forth. This is what a sibling can do to a sibling if he or she is on the other side. Another incident. Similarly, Vibhishan becomes the cause of death of his own brother Ravan. He knew the secret that there is Amrit in the Nabhi of Ravan. Nabhi kund piyush bas aake, naak jiyat Ravan ubalta. sibling causing death of a sibling. Another one where Bali abducts the wife of his brother Sugriv, and Sugriv becomes the cause of killing of his own brother. So in a nutshell, siblings is the only relationship which starts from the birth and lasts for a lifetime. You can consider any other relationship, whether it is that of parent or child, husband, wife, whatever you can take, employer, employee, teacher, student, everything starts either late in your lifetime or ends early in your lifetime. However, siblings is the only relationship which starts from birth and lasts for a lifetime. This relationship can be the guard of the deepest of your secrets because you have grown up together. Remain united with your siblings even during toughest of the times, and you can trust me, you can sail it through. And if not siblings, and if this is not there, and if it is not done, siblings can be the major cause of downturn of events and can cause major destruction. This is what is the power of relationship of siblings, and this is what is the depiction in Ramcharitmanas by Tulsidas ji, and this is what is my learning from the epic. Moving on to a very important relationship again, friendship. In today's times, when the friends are made only for selfish causes, Ramcharitmanas has numerous incidences on what ideal friendship should be. It should be without seeing color, creed, caste, and even financial status. In a nutshell, this is the only relationship that you can choose at your free will. The only relationship where you can be formal. Rest all relationships are God made, as we call it. But friends, you can choose at your free will. And it is the only relationship where you can be informal without fear of getting judged. Mind it, the only relationship which comes back even after years of separation, and where the formula of forgive, forget, together again can work. But make friends very judiciously and be true to them like a mirror. Trust, respect, and request, but never use friendship. These are my learnings from Ramcharitmanas, and I'll give you some incidences. When I said Ramchandraji, with whosoever he made friends, he was always true to them, be it Sugriv, Vibhishan, or Nishad Raj Guha. When he was friends with Sugriv, after all, Sugriv was a monkey, an ape. He was not human. He made a friendship, he made a relationship of equal. Kini preet kachu beech na rakha. This is what when he meets Sugriv. Lakshman and Ram, when they meet Sugriv, कीनी प्रीत, जब उन्होंने फ्रेंडशिप की, कछु बीच न रखा, उनके बीच में कोई सीक्रेट्स नहीं थे. They became friends instantly. कीनी प्रीत कछु बीच न रखा, लक्ष्मण राम चरित सब भागा. When Sugriv told about wrongdoing, the abduction of his wife by his brother Bali, Ram, without even thinking once, why should he help Sugriv? After all, what good he can do to him? But then, after all, he was a monkey also. Still, Tulsidas ji says, "Jena mitra dukho hohi dukhari, tinahi vilokat patak bhari, nij dukh giri sam raj kar jana, mitra ke dukh raj meru samana." Last line, nij dukh giri sam raj kar jana. जो अपने friends का दुख, खुद का दुख, even though it may be very big, if they treat their sorrow as very small, however, if it is friend sorrow, they take it as a mountain, which means they get affected by the sorrows of their friend. That is what is a true friend. So this is what is a depiction of friendship by Tulsidas ji in Ramcharitmanas. Another incident is that of Ram getting friends with Vibhishan. When Vibhishan comes to Ram as a Sharnagat, as we call it, Ram had no indication that Vibhishan can be used to kill Ravan. Simply because Vibhishan came seeking by help, he says, and he treats him like equal. Anuj sahit mili dhig baithai. Wherever he is sitting with his younger brother, that is Lakshman, he gives Vibhishan the same seat. Anuj sahit mili dhig baithari, bole bachan bhagat baithai. And then he is talking to him like a friend. Usse halchal puch rahe. He is asking his well-being. Kahu Lankesh sahit parivara, kusal kutha har baat tumhara. He's also being compassionate with him. And it does not stop here. Ram kills Ravan, wins Lanka, but goes on to give the throne of Lanka to Vibhishan. Remember, when Vibhishan and Ram met each other and became friends, none of them had any expectations from each other. Neither Vibhishan of getting the kingdom of Lanka, nor Ram knowing that the secret of killing of Ravan will eventually be told by none other than Vibhishan. Similar are the incidences of Nishad. Moving to another important relationship. This one can go on and find on lot of incidences on each of these relationships depicted, beautifully described, portrayed in Ramcharitmanas. But here, because of the time, we are moving on. Moving on to another important relationship during childhood and adolescence is that of teacher and the taught. A complete surrender of students to gain knowledge and the oath of the teacher to make each of his disciples a complete man, equipped with the best of the knowledge and skill according to his or her own capabilities. This is what, there are numerous examples in Ramcharitmanas on whether it is Guru Vashisht preparing the 4 sons, the 4 princes for the life, whether it is Guru Vishwamitra taking these 2 sons Ram and Lakshman in jungle, and then also getting them married to beautiful daughters of King Janak. Numerous incidences where it shows that whenever a teacher is teaching or a learner is learning, there are moral responsibilities involved. It is about knowledge and life skills. It is about applying these knowledge and acquired life skills for bettering the quality of life. And the mutual devotion. When Ramchandraji and Lakshmanji goes with Guru Vishwamitra and reaches the kutia or wherever the ashram of Guru Vishwamitraji is, it is written by Goswami Tulsidas ji, Ayudh sarb samarpike Prabhu nij ashram jani. When he reaches, when Ramchandraji reaches Guru Vishwamitra ashram, Ramchandraji gives his shastra to Vishwamitra. He just donates it to him, keeps them in his custody. Kand mool fal bhojan deen bhagati hit jani. वहां पर बैठ के वो कंद मूल फल भोजन खा रहे हैं. Whatever is the context, complete devotion of the teacher and the taught. Everywhere, the whole education is about discrimination from good to bad. How can disciples learn to discriminate from good to bad? Teacher has to be a role model. And expectations are to be made very clear right from the beginning. The task is hand, when it is to be delivered. All these, the Guru knew exactly when his disciples needed further knowledge and when they would need support and guidance, when they are to be challenged to further test their strength, and when they are to be rewarded with blessings. These are numerous incidences and examples in Manas on student and teacher relationship. Moving on, love, marriage, and devotion. When you seek love, see if you feel devoted to the other person, simply because devotion is more than love and grows out of true love. My favorite incidents, and here, although I'm not going to go through the what has been listed here as the characteristics of what a good marriage, an ideal marriage could be, an ideal love could be, I'm just going to take you through an example of 2 contrasting incidences. My favorite incident is that of depiction of meeting of Sita and Ram in Pushpavatika. Remember, Tulsidas ji or Valmiki ji have in their respective Mahakavyas beautifully described how Ram and Sita had fallen in love even before their marriage, thus telling that it is not a sin to be in love, but the love, when it is born out of lust, becomes sin. So I'm giving you examples of 2 incidences. One that is of Ram and Sita falling in love at first sight in Pushpavatika, and the other one wherein Shurpanka falls in love at first sight, so-called love at first sight with Ram. The 2 incidences, the context, the positioning, and the description of the 2 incidences by Tulsidas ji are so different. It so happens that Ram and Lakshman goes to Janakpuri and they are resting in whatever guest room they have been provided by King Janak. And in the morning, both the brothers are ordered by Guru Vishwamitra ji to collect flowers in Pushpavatika. Similarly, Sita ji was also ordered by her mother to collect flowers and to go to worship Parvati ji in a temple. So Ram and Lakshman were ordered to collect flowers. They go there. Jahudisi चितई पूछी मालीगन, वो माली से पूछते हैं, गार्डनर से पूछते हैं, चारों तरफ देखते हैं और मालियों से पूछ के लगे दे डाल फूल मुदित मन, and then they start collecting flowers. ते ही अवसर सीता तहाई, गिरजा पूजन जननी पठाई. गिरजा की पूजन करने के लिए उनकी मदर ने उनको वहां पर भेजा और सीता जी उसी वक्त वहां पर आई. There was love at first sight. Both of them see each other. There was love at first sight. But remember, the cause and act and the context was that of puja. Ramji and Lakshmanji was also sent to collect flowers for puja, and Sita also went to Pushpavatika to do pujan of Girija. So the whole feeling was that of upasana. And then there was love at first sight, the beautiful love, the beautiful marriage, and the beautiful relationship of Ram and Sita. The bhav was that of puja, and hence the love between Sita and Ram was treated as pious. They get attracted to each other, but it never took a form of infatuation. So there is a difference between getting infatuated and getting attracted. Puni puni Rama hi chittavasiya, sakuchit manu sakuchayna. Meaning, Sita ji Ram ko dekh rahi hai, Ram Sita ji ko dekh rahe hain, but they are looking at each other with their inner eyes, not the physical eyes. उनका मन सकुचाता है, सीता जी सकुचाती हैं, लेकिन with her inner eyes, she is able to see Ram. Seeing Ram again and again, Sita, but not her inner self, is feeling shy. This is because she feels devoted by her inner self to Ram, and so does Ram. She goes on to pray to Mata Parvati. Manura jahi rache hu milahi sovar sahaj sundar savaro, karuna nidhan sujan sil saneha janat ravaro. Ehi bhanti gauri asis suni siya, sahit hiya rasiyali, tulsi bhavani puji puni puni, modit man mandir jali. She is happy and she is worshipping Parvati. Puni puni ramahi chittavasiya sakuchit man. So this is the incidents where the whole feeling, the bhavna of love is taking birth and is culminating into devotion. Vis-a-vis an example of Vasna, and that is what is the episode of Surpanka. She first becomes infatuated with Ram. She sees Ram and becomes infatuated with him and says and asks him to marry her. But then Ram says, I am a married man and I have taken the oath of having only one wife. And promptly comes the reply from Shurpanka. Okay, it is fine. Then I am okay to be even with Lakshman. And this is what is Vasna, not Vasna. And this is what is infatuation. And that is why that is what caused this love at first sight to be known as sin. Similarly, the incidents of Ravan being infatuated with Sita too, in all these incidences, had the love not been, if the love is not pious, and if the love of Ram and Sita not been pious, Ram was given an indication by Surpanka, and that time Surpanka was a very beautiful lady. He was a king, he could have married Surpanka. Similarly, when Sita was abducted by Ravan was all powerful. He was the king of a large kingdom, and Sita could have married. But she was devoted to her husband, and so her Satitva came as her guard. And similarly, Ram was very devoted to his wife, that is Sita. There are other depictions of ideal couples in love, like Lakshman and Urmila. Many of you might not know, even Ramcharitmanas doesn't have that description, but during these 14 years of exile, neither Lakshman nor his wife Urmila slept, because Lakshman used to do the daily, help Ram and Sita in daily chores during the day, and during the night when Ram and Sita slept, he was on the guard. So he never slept. And because Lakshman never slept, Urmila also never slept. This is what is another instance in one of the other epics. This is what is the devotion. Ram and Sita, Kaushalya and Dashrath, Mandodari and Ravan. Mandodari was always giving good advice to Ravan, Sunaina and Janak, and so on. There are ideal depictions of ideal relationships of how a married couple should be working as a team. Even and mutual compassion. When Ram was ready to go to exile, Sita also became ready, and in fact almost becomes adamant to go with Ravan. And Ram tries to tell her, "Kus kantak meg kakar nana, chalab payadehi pidu padatrana." चरण कमल मृदु मंजू तुम्हारे चरण कमल बहुत सॉफ्ट है. Your feet are very soft. मार्ग अगम भूमि पर धारे. तुम वहां कैसे रहोगी? If you have to walk without any footwear, how will you walk? This is what Ram is telling to Sita, that let me go, you be here. He could have ordered Sita that you come with me. If I am going to exile, you should also come. But then this is what is the devotion. He is being compassionate to Sita and telling that you be here in the palace. But on the contrary, he is also arguing. And she's telling, Bhog rog sambhushan bharu, jayam jatana saris sansaru. Prananath tum binu jagmahi. Hey Prananath, meaning my husband, if you are not there, my life, that is a wife's life, is without any cause, she says. जो वहां के सुख हैं वो भी जो वहां के दुख हैं वो मेरे सुख बन जाएंगे. Whatever are the sorrows of jungle, they will become my happiness. They can be my joy if you are with me. This is what is the devotion of married couples depicted in Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas. See, Ram had a father who had 3 wives. He could have, but yet he took an oath of marrying only once and never looking at any other lady. Polygamy is a curse for the society, and this is what has been depicted by Dashrath, having been portrayed as a living example of the same. On the contrary, Janak also was a Raja. He always believed in monogamy, and he was a Rajyug. He lived like a king. He was serving as a king, but he never, उन्होंने कभी भोग नहीं किया राज्य का. This is what is the difference, how the married couples should live. The contrasting examples that Ramcharitmanas has and Tulsidas ji has depicted. Moving on to the workplace relationships. Again, with some examples, I would like to substantiate these 4 learnings that I have drawn from Ramcharitmanas. That the boss should be like a patron to his subordinates, and the subordinates should be dedicated to the boss. The team should take collective responsibilities of the failures, and the successes should not be named on one. Let's look at some examples. Tulsidas ji has written and has shown various examples wherein he says that the workplace relationships again are epitomized with the examples of devotion and trust, and the feeling that the Raja performs the tasks as a service to Praja and not for his own bhog and vilas. Similarly, the Praja performs the tasks for Raja. मैं बनु जाऊं तुई लई साथा, कोई सबई विधि अवध अनाथा. When do you think this could have been happening? I know that many of you won't be understanding this Avdi language, and that is why I will translate. This is when the incidents when Ram is given exile and Lakshman is ready to go with him. He has almost decided that Lakshman is going to be with Ram. But then Ram is telling to Lakshman, "Agar तुम मेरे साथ चले गए, if you also go with him." And at that time, when the exile was given to Ram, Bharat and Shatrughan were not there in Ayodhya. So he's telling to Lakshman कि अगर मैं चला जाऊंगा और तुम भी मेरे साथ चले जाओगे, गुरु पितु मातु प्रजा परिवारु सब कबु परई दुसह दुख भारी. गुरु के ऊपर पितु मातु meaning the parents and प्रजा परिवारु, हमारे family and on our kingdom and on the people, who will they look up to? If I am also gone, you are also gone. King Dashrath is not in the right state of mind and health, and Bharat and Shatrughan are not here. You have to be here. Everybody is in the is in the deepest of sorrow because of all this. But then, even then, Ram is thinking about his kingdom and the people there. Raho karo sab kar paritoshu natatu tat ohi bad doshu jasu raj priya praja dukhar son rap avasi narakatkar. The last line, the jis raj mein jasu raj priya praja dukhar. In the kingdom where the people are in deep sorrow, so nrap avasi narakadikari. That king is liable to go to Nark. That is what is written by Tulsidas ji. And this is what is the responsibility and the accountability that he is depicting of the king for the kingdom. In these two incidences and Chaupai, they have been beautifully depicted. And another one, how people should feel responsible for the well-being of their king. This is the incident, the first Chaupai, this is the incident when when Ram was declared that he's going to go to exile, and the mantri he breaks the news to all the prajajan. Suni bhai bikal sakal narnai. Sare ke sare people, all the people of Ayodhya, they become restless that Ram and Sita are going to that Ram is going to exile. Really bitap jimi dekh davari jo jah sunai dunai se rasoi, meaning they are all crying. Baad bishadu nahi dheeraj ko. Unko kisi bhi prakar se, they are not having patience at all, and they are so in the deepest of sorrow because because Ram is going to exile. It could have been otherwise. Ram was given the exile, not everybody else in the family. So there was a kingdom, there was enough money available, but then the praja is feeling for the king and for Ram especially. Karai Swami hit sevaku hoi doshana koti dei ke another incident when Bharat was ready, when Ram was in exile and Bharat was ready, when Bharat comes back and he gets the news of Ram being in exile, and he decides that he has to go to jungle and coax and request Ram to come back to Ayodhya because this is the kingdom that belongs to him. He is getting ready, that's fine, because Bharat is his brother, Ram is his brother. But then here, the depiction and the portrayal in Ramcharitmanas by Tulsidas ji is that whole of the Ayodhya, all the people, they get ready to accompany Bharat to go to Ram and request him to come back. So the description that has been given is that Bharat goes and whole of the Praja also goes with Bharat to request Ram to come back. Ghar ghar sajehi bahan nana harashu hriday par bhat payana. This says that when this was declared that Bharat is going to request Ram to come back, sare ke sare ghar ghar sajehi bahan nana, everybody is getting ready to go with Bharat. Harashu hriday par bhat payana, meaning that next morning we are going to go to bring our king back. This is what is the devotion of Praja which has been depicted for king in Ramcharitmanas. The mutual relationship of the king and the people. The king serves as if he is a serviceman to the whole Praja, and the Praja behaves as if whatever they are doing, it is for their king. Similarly, I have not narrated any incidents of Hanumanji. Hanumanji was also like he was a sevak, he was a serviceman to Ram. But then everywhere, I have just put this very boldly here that every deed that Hanumanji was all capable of doing, everything which has been described in Ramayana and in other Granths and in Purans. But then every deed that he does is for his king. Ram kaj kari fir main aau. Meaning Hanumanji is devoting all his deeds in the name of his God, which is Ram. So meaning the relationship of at the workplace should be as if it is my work, but I am doing in the name of my boss. But the boss does it as a serviceman to his own employees and the whole people and the king. This is what is the workplace relationship that has been depicted in Ramcharitmanas by Tulsidas. Pretty much we have come to the end of this discourse. So to sum up, Besides all the above relationships of being a child, parent, husband, wife, the master, the master and the rules, the teacher and the student, there are depiction of very many other beautiful relationships too. For example, the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship also beautifully depicted. Each character in Ramayana, whether it is Bharat, Hanuman, Sita, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughan, even Kaikeyi, if studied in detail, can give us a deep insight into how relationships can be made beautiful. Kavi Tulsidas ji, as we have just explained, has shown the contrasting sides of all the relationships. It is for us to make a choice. The best thing about this epic is with whatever feeling you read the Manas, it gets portrayed in the same way in front of you. Jaki rahi bhavana jaisi, Prabhu Murat dekhi tin taisi. Meaning, जिस भावना से आप भगवान को देखेंगे, जिस भावना से आप इस महाकाव्य को पढ़ेंगे, the feeling and the bhavna with which you read it, the same bhavna gets reflected in you, imbibed in you. Manas is a true depiction of how life can be lived like a samsari, but with a feeling of that of sannyasi. When life is lived and all karmas are done with the feeling of the service to God, Ram kaj kari fir main aau. If it is Ram kaj, if it is the service of God, service to God, if it is his deed, a Raj like Ram Raj is set to be established. Thus says Sri Tulsidas ji. And the final learning that I have imbibed is, and it's my own reading, that management lessons can be drawn best from Sri Bhagavad Katha or Gita. But if it is relationships and the way of life, it has to be Ramcharitmanas. Thank you. At this point of time, if you have any quick comments, suggestions, questions, see, I am not an expert on the subject. I may not answer all the questions that you might have. This whole discourse, this whole monologue was actually my learning, my reading from Ramcharitmanas and the way I have imbibed. So this was more of a sharing of personal experiences and the meaning of relationships that I have derived from this Mahakavya. But if you have any quick comments, you can write in the questions window. I think we have about 5 to 6 minutes to look at the comments, questions, and I'm looking at the questions window. And if you have any comments, questions, you can just write in the questions window. We can take it, or I'll wait for another minute for you to type in, and I can read it aloud. All right, so Kulwant sir is saying here, your views, ma'am, credit of success to the entire team, but failure is always of the leader who could not organize a work properly. Teaching of Ramcharitmanas as well as real life, at least in the uniform fraternity. This is what is a comment. So I will not give my comment on this because you have asked my views, but I will not give my views on this. This is a very nice comment and a sort of a reading from Kulwant sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing. All right. Ashok Kumar is asking, from an era of verbal teaching through board teaching to online teaching, how can we consider student-teacher relationship? Is it gaining, appreciating, or losing? I would say the student-teacher relationships can take different forms, but a strong bonding between student and the teacher remains central if learning has to take place, whether it is through verbal teaching, through board teaching, or through online teaching. That's what is my opinion. Okay. Sanjeev Sharma is asking, ma'am, how Ramayana can be useful for predictions in today's time? I have no answer to this question because I don't know. Predictions, I don't know. This I have always seen, and I've always read Ramayana from the point of view of how beautiful relationships can be nurtured. So I can't answer this question. Shefali is asking, my query is how to cope up with selfishness by learning from Ramayana. So in fact, Ramcharitmanas is all filled about how not to be selfish, how you have to act and do all the deeds in the name of God, devoting to others, to the humanity, to the cause. That's what, that is why it tells us that one need not to be selfish for the deeds that you do. Okay. Um, all right, so there are no more questions coming in. Dipali is asking, Ram being a husband, is it justified he left his wife? So Dipali, there are very many explanations to what happened in Uttarakhand also, and otherwise also by many kavis and munis and very many learned people, that why Ram left his wife. And whatever has been depicted and said in two straight lines that he left her, there are very many meanings of it and very many causes of it. So it's a complex cause and effect relationship that needs to be studied before we can be judgmental on Ram leaving his wife. Okay, so we come to the end of this talk. Thank you to all of you from the bottom of my heart for listening to me patiently and encouraging me for preparing this talk and delivering it to you. Thank you very much.